Hi, everybody. Good evening and welcome. We're a little bit early this evening, Diana and I are, because I wanted to ask her the James Lipton questions. And so I thought the best thing to do would be to come on about a half an hour early before we do the dream show. And Terri will be joining us at that time as well. So we'll just we'll just go into this. I always try to give a little bit of an explanation in case nobody has understands what this is. James Lipton was a man who hosted a show, I would say in the 90s and the early 2000s, and it was called Inside the Actor's Studio, and where he would bring in his guests like Robin Williams and, all the actors and he would ask them questions, and his students would ask questions of the actors as well. And then at the very end, he would have a list of 10 questions that he would ask, sort of to finish the show. So the other night, a couple of weeks ago, I tested it out on Kevin's channel, Kevin the Healing Medium, and we had so much fun. And James Lipton came through.
And that's no surprise.
Isn't that awesome? Can you imagine being on the other side and hearing your name and then, coming in and going, wow, this is being, taken care of. And
well, he's grinning right now.
He's grinning. Yep.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, yeah, do this, do some more of this, do some more of this. So that's why we're here. So, so it is fun. Hello, Wayne.
Not reversed.
Uh-huh. Wayne and Micah and Jay, it's great to see you. Welcome, everybody. So, So I love my Diana. She is, she's just a precious thing. And she's so smart about so many different things, card reading, astrology. She made her own cards. I mean, she's a painter, she's a dreamer. And we will be doing the dream show after this. But I'm going to go ahead and ask her the questions.
Hi.
And hi, Kate. Hi, Scorpio Mama. Hi, Samantha. It's good to see you all, too. So we'll start right at the top. James Lipton, and this is in the psychic studio. This is not an actor, but psychics, I guess, are kind of an actor.
So if you connect in with my mother's spirit right now, she'd probably tell you I was the drama queen before they invented the phrase.
Well, she's probably wanting to hear your answers, so that's very possible. That's very possible. Hi, Ginny, and hi, Emek. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. So the first question is, what is your favorite word?
Peace.
Peace. Oh my God. Well, we grew up in the peace movement,
we are saying is give peace a chance.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And you are a bit older than I, but we all looked up to your generation, which is just a little bit older than mine, because you were the ones that paved the way for all of us that came up behind you. So, and I think about John Lewis, and I think about, I just saw a picture of Bernie actually in a protest being in 1963.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know that. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I was like, I didn't recognize him because he had hair and it was black. So anyway, So all of those guys. Yeah.
Afro, I think.
It's very possible. It's very possible. I know he had ended up having a love child with somebody during that time period, because he never married that particular woman, but has a son. So pretty interesting. Yeah. All right. So Diana, your favorite word is peace. What is your least favorite word?
Well, it's two. I can't.
I can't? Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. There is no such thing as can't. Yeah. The other word that I think about that actually isn't a good word is try. And the reason is it's not definitive enough. We don't want to say, I'll try. We want to say, I'll do it, right? Yeah.
Because this is the one thing that the very first thing I took away from me as a Yoda-ism in 1977.
There is no try.
There is do or do not. There is
Right.
no
No
try.
try. Yeah. But there's
Absolutely.
your I can't. That's your I can't as well. You know,
Exactly.
um,
Because
yeah,
it sums up the cop out.
it does. It does. Why can't you? You know, my mom used to always say, remember the last four letters of the word American. They are I can, and so can you. And, so I did, I remember
Well,
that one. So,
and I
yeah.
grew up in Detroit, and Henry
Uh-huh.
Ford's whole take on failure was opportunity to try again. No,
Uh-huh.
opportunity to start over. Opportunity to
Right.
start again.
Uh-huh. Definitely. Definitely. It's funny because a lot of people have said a lot of really good words and a lot of words that they do not like, but most of us have a really definitive, different answer than the other. And so I love that because it's like a word salad, and it shows what we grew up with and where our values are.
And you don't have to have love to have peace.
Right.
Because
Right.
once you have peace, it often leads to love.
To love.
If
Yes.
it's just respect, that is still a form of love. So
It is. It is. Yes. So those of you who have come in a little bit later than the beginning, we will be doing the dream show at 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock with Terri. Diana and I are on a half an hour early so I can ask her some James Lipton questions. So that's why we're here. And so you can certainly put up your dreams if you want to for later. We'll check in on it, but just wanting you to know what's going on. All right, Diana. So what excites you?
what well, there's a lot of things. when I when I when I see my great blue heron and I speak to him and he looks right at me. I have a little clip where I videoed because I was painting a picture of him in flight, and I was riding on him in this picture. And I'm walking towards him, I'm walking slowly, and I made a noise, and he looked at me, and I said, "Hi, handsome. I need to see you fly. Can you fly for me, please?" And he looked at me and he curtsied and he took off for flight. And I have chills talking about it because he is always at the lake. His
Okay.
name is Oliver. If I don't
Uh,
see him in our favorite haunts, I can just call his name and he shows up. And
I get
last
the
week,
chills.
last week I was looking through his favorite places to hide where I walk. And
Uh-huh.
I didn't see him. And I'd gone down into this really small hidden cove. And
Mm-hmm.
moments before I got there, I was thinking, God, I haven't heard a heron bark at me since I lived in Virginia. So that's been
Mm-hmm.
4 summers.
Yep.
And lo and behold, if he didn't squawk and take flight and squawk at me 3 more times while looking at me.
Wow.
So things like that excite me. But then awesome guitar music excites me too.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. There's always something
Yeah.
we can open ourselves up to. But I love that. I did not know that about your heron. Are you painting this heron?
I actually had done this picture in a traveling journal, art journal.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's no longer in operation, but we
Right.
mailed this to everybody. And
Oh, I
then
remember
one
you telling me
mailed it
about that.
to
Yep.
me because
Yep.
I moved away. And if you
Okay.
couldn't get it to a person, you could just mail it to them. And this was all taking place in Virginia. Well, I had moved up
Okay.
here.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of the whole process is kind of defunct, but it was a lot of fun. And she
Uh-huh.
said, "No, we can't do this without Diana in on it." So
That's
she
right.
up to me.
You're the supreme painter and drawer. You are, yeah. You
Yeah,
got to be part of that. Yeah, I do.
Definitely the oddball of that group.
That's all right. All right. So, what turns you off?
Turns me off. Bullying, violence.
Mm-hmm. I would add TFG.
Yeah.
He's a turn off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of
things.
initials out there, but right in that.
I get it. Yeah, bullying is no good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what sound or noise do you most like?
Oh. Now that's a hard one because that's like the things that excite me almost always involve sound, whether it's getting a audio download or listening to John Hyatt or listening to HU. They're from Japan, and they do heavy metal, kind of like Metallica, but a little different, and it's very cool.
But that doesn't turn you off.
No, you asked me what turned me on.
Okay, but that was
what sounds turn
what
me
sound and noise? I'm sorry. What sound and noise do you love? Okay, I know you love your music, so yeah, I and you have a very wide array of different types of music that you love.
Yeah, my grandfather was a musician who could play any instrument.
My
mother's dad, and so it came with the violin and an accordion and a trumpet and a guitar. My brothers are musicians. My sons are musicians, and it all goes back to that fat belly guitar that my grandfather had.
I get it. Well, it's like me with my parents. I grew up on big band and swing because Dad was a drummer, so I understand. Right. Yeah,
and all of the tunes from the gay 20s, the gay 90s. Because my grandmother was born in 1896, my grandfather was 1886, so there's a wide variety of.
There's a wide variety, and then your own children's music
and my own and mine,
and yours,
the 60s.
Absolutely.
Free drugs and free rock and roll, man. On my way to Woodstock, the original Woodstock.
All right. So the flip side, and I'm sorry that I messed that up, but what sound do you not like?
Well, without sounding nasty, my dogs can be extremely annoying. They're little. And it annoys me more than it does other people, but they bark at some of the most idiotic things. Like they're in the car and they're barking at a stop sign. There isn't even anybody around. They're just barking at the stop sign.
That's how my Sheltie was. She barked at nothing. Nothing. Yeah, I understand. It is annoying. Yeah, but you love them. But you love them.
It's the
little quirkiness. Yeah.
It's the 3G circus here. When they all three of them are going, it's Groucho, Grizzly, and Gloria.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And Groucho's the bird, by the way.
Yes. My three dragons.
Your three dragons. All right. So now you get to have a little bit of fun because what's your favorite curse word?
Can I say it out loud?
You can either say it
just fucking A.
It's funny because Cartomancy and Deb H said the MFer was their favorite word. So yeah. Mine is shit, and I say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the 60s, they meant fucking A.
Yeah, right. That's right. That's right. That was the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a signal. This is good shit, man. A little teaching
dear. Wait a minute. You only think it's nothing, but it is something. Oh, the dogs. Oh, you're saying that Diana's dogs barking. It's something to them.
Yes. Oh, it is. It absolutely is. I'm
Yeah.
protecting. We're here. This is our park. I'm
Uh-huh.
protecting her.
You're my mom. There's a stop sign. We don't want it there. What, please move along. Yeah. Thanks, Cat Mama. We understand. Hi,
Yeah.
Jules and Ron. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. All right. So the number 8. What gift, other than what you already have, like, would you like to have? Now that can be anything. You could be, whoops, I don't know what happened. Okay, you went away and came back. That was your gift. Um, I mean, it could be sewing. It could be being a medium. Whatever. It's up to
I,
you.
I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
wish I could play the violin
Okay.
and the cello. I
Yeah.
love the cello. I love the violin, but I love the
How
cello.
about the fiddle?
Yeah. It's all the same.
Devil went down to Georgia. There you go.
Yeah. Never went down to Georgia.
That's right. Oh, that would be wonderful. It's just not something that you practiced when you were younger. I'm
Well,
guessing.
I was supposed to get lessons,
Uh
right?
huh.
I took tap dance and I took ice skating and I I was great at all that stuff, but what I really wanted to do was learn how to play the violin.
Uh huh.
And um my grandfather got it all ready for me to go take lessons, and something happened and I never got to take the lesson.
Um,
So I what that was, I don't know,
mm-hmm,
but I
mm-hmm.
still have the violin. It was
Well,
built
good.
for his father. It was built for
Oh,
his father in, I
wow.
think it's signed 1903. There's a little tiny paper label inside, and I think it's 1903 on that body.
Oh, wonderful. Wow. That, when my parents decided they wanted me to learn an instrument. They wanted to know what I wanted to play. And there was a Kleenex ad that had a tissue at the end of it, and it was a trumpet, but I couldn't think of it. I couldn't think of what it was. And I said, on the Kleenex ad. Oh, okay. So they got me a clarinet. I hated it. That wasn't what I wanted.
You wanted Louis Armstrong,
I
didn't
did. I wanted a little bit of Louis Armstrong. That's right. Wow. Okay. So what gift to you would be most annoying for you that you don't like having, let's say?
you? Well, I sometimes talk too much. It's
Somebody else said that, actually. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
I can't help it. I'm a preschool teacher. I can't stand dead air space. If kids are quiet, they aren't thinking. It doesn't
Oh,
even matter if it pertains to what I'm talking about. I want
yeah.
them thinking. I want them
Sure.
developing their own ideas. That's fine and dandy. So um, because I taught 4 and 5-year-olds in pre-K. It was definitely about get the ball moving. I had to fill in the gaps so
I
that
guess
they
you.
would get the
I guess
ball
you.
rolling. So
Uh-huh. But we all, it was funny because there are a lot of people who absolutely cannot have dead air ever. Like
ever.
you're at home by yourself. You've got your animals, of course, but there's no one really to talk to. But some people have to have the radio on or the
Oh,
TV on. Yeah, they have to have noise. Yeah.
that kind of dead air is okay
It's
because
okay. Okay.
that brings in downloads.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
That's walking meditation
Understand.
or working
Understand.
meditation.
Working meditation. Okay. So the very best question I think of the whole bunch that James Lipton asks his people on his show is, if heaven exists, and we know that it does, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well, when God said brains, I didn't say trains, and you didn't miss yours after all. Your uncle was wrong.
There was a lot of iterations of that. What was it? When God asked you for this, and you said this, yeah. Remember, that was the thing that was in the 60s and 70s that people would say all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, being a small child in the early 50s, it was like, yeah, when God said brains, you thought he said trains, and you missed yours.
You're Mr. Train. That's right. So one of the others, I think it was Kelly, when I was talking to Kelly, she said, "Oh, I thought you were going to ask me who would you like to meet you at the pearly gates." So I'll throw that one in just for good measure.
Okay. My mom.
Yeah.
You know, we had some knockdown argument fights, but oh boy, did she know. She knew to let me hang myself. You know,
Oh.
she knew how to. She knew how to handle me, I guess. After all, and I'm sure she knows that from up there because she keeps throwing pennies at me. That was our thing, you know, putting fresh copper pennies in your fresh school penny loafers.
Right. Oh God, yes. And did you have the black and whites, or did you have the tan and browns?
Oh, I had oxblood, solid oxblood.
No, but I'm thinking on your
shoes?
Saddle shoes.
Saddle shoes. I had black and whites when it was saddle.
I wish I did. My mother only bought me the tan and brown, and I didn't like. I think maybe that was all it was left, and I got it. I didn't. Wasn't what I wanted, and I scuffed them up the first day. You know, they never were the same. Yeah.
Saddle shoes were fun. They came later but penny loafers you could wear for a long time.
You could.
You know, absolutely. Because your feet could get sloppy in them and grow. They
That's
got
right.
sloppy. Your feet had really.
That's right.
But
God forbid you needed that penny or two, you know, then you have
to. Back in those days, you know how many nickel licks I got? How many pixie sticks can I get?
Pixie sticks? Yes. Pixie sticks. And then they had the little bottles that you could bite and drink the
lips, candy cigarettes.
Mustache.
The mustache. Yeah. Ooh, that was black licorice.
Teeth. Do you remember the teeth? The buck teeth? Yes. Now we're really dating ourselves, but yes.
Yeah, right.
So I'm so glad I grew up then. I can't tell you. I think back on it and I say, there was just nothing like it. And there never will be.
We didn't have a boiler. We had an electric or a gas furnace, but it was an early gas furnace. So my dad would be down there banging, screaming and hollering. But when we went to my grandmother's, then it was coal and a boiler and dirty. And my dad would go down there with my grandfather and be banging and screaming and hollering. And so when I watch The Christmas Story, which I do every year, that was my childhood. That was my Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten an idea. Mine was for me was Planes, Trains, and Autos at Thanksgiving. And for Christmas, it was Christmas Vacation. So I didn't watch the other one.
National Lampoons.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hello, everybody who's come in late. We've been having the questions for Diana tonight as a prelude to our dream show. She just answered the James Lipton questions. And I do too. She said, wish I could go back. Life seems simple. I guess it was because I didn't have to figure anything out like I do now. I understand.
Yes. Right?
Yeah.
And
so much simpler.
We didn't know the complications that our parents were doing. We were kids.
Right.
So
I've been spending a lot of time daydreaming about my bedroom when I was a teenager. And I've got everything in the right place. I'm looking at the walls. I had the Christian doors, the brown, with the latches on them because it was an old house. I've got all of that in my mind. And then I was listening to, Those Were the Days, My Friend. We thought they'd never end from, or I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden.
Oh my God.
I know. And I just, I feel like I'm back there, and I think some of it has to do with the fact that, and I talked about this on the sister show though. I was 33 when mom died and 35 when dad died, and so for my mom, I've been without her more than I was with her. So to me, it's like a way to go back and just enjoy all that, and not think about all the
So
complications.
how many years has it been since your mom passed?
35. Yeah. Yeah. 88. She died in 88. And dad died in 92. So, and now both my brothers are gone. So yeah, I'm like the
Oh,
only child. Yeah.
you're probably going through a Saturn return on your father's passing. Lots of reminiscing there.
Ah, yes. Yes. That's
It's
very
about
true.
29 years, 30 years, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Absolutely. So yes, it is. It's very nostalgic. And yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
yeah. But yeah, they did die young. Mom was 35 when she had me. Dad was 38, and mom died at 68, which is what I will be, and dad was 75. So, um, it just I even asked Linda G when I was at the um, when I was down at the thing. I said, "Am I going to be a part of the 68 club? I hope not, because my husband's mother died at 68. My mother died at 68, and my son-in-law's mother just died at 68."
oh,
And she
wow.
said, "You're not going anywhere. Linda." I said, "Okay."
I see
Although
102.
oh, that's funny. 102 going on 22, right?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. So
I have
yes, some of you are younger than you were born in the 60s. Good for you. Wildflower in 1960. My brother graduated from high school in 1960. And my other brother would have graduated in 64, but he went in the Marine Corps. So he didn't finish. But yeah, 61. I'm telling you, if you were born between like 1946, I guess, until 1965, 6, 7, 8, I don't know. Life was just different. It really was. And,
it
you know,
it was still celebrating peacetime after all of that World War II.
that's true.
And after the Dust Bowl days, the Depression of the
Hmm.
30s.
Hmm.
So, that was
Yep. Yep.
and I mean, I can remember being in grade school and reading a chapter called The Innovation Generation. And
Ah.
it was Edison
Hmm.
and Einstein
Yep.
and
Yep.
Graham Bell and and Henry Ford and all of
Hmm.
the inventions that came out of the gentlemen that were born in those late
Yep.
80s, which would have made my grandparents
Sure.
in their 20s, 30s, right?
Hmm.
So yes, it's true. And Carl Jung and all of that.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Yeah. It was its own renaissance, just
right,
like it was, I think I really do believe we go through them. And I
right,
think right now we're going through it. But it's a
right.
little different. It's a little different, but
Right.
yeah.
And what was going on in the 50s and 60s was the comfort zone before the big business takeover, Uh,
Yeah.
everything. I mean, although we are finding out that,
Uh-huh.
Tesla was right and there's a
Right.
class
Right.
action suit going on
Yeah.
against all of that. But yeah,
Yeah. 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 Lots of things that I think the thing that really struck me when I was in Sedona was that I could see the sky. I could see the stars because there was no light pollution out where we were. And I don't really think we think about that very often, but we don't really see anything because we're in a world of all these lights and, and so on. So anyway, well, thank you for answering the questions and thank you all for being here early. I think Terri is on her way in at some point. She's not quite here yet, but if you're wanting to put up your dreams for us, please go ahead and put them up. And Kate is going to be on with me tomorrow morning. And she's going to be doing 2 new shows. Well, good. That's great, Kate. We still want you back here, but we're going to try to flip this probably over to a Sunday night at some point when Kate's ready to come back. So,
Okay.
I bet you do, Wildflower. Being in a family when we were kids, and we would know it was 5 o'clock, time to go home because you're going to eat dinner and you're going to, I always got stuck doing the dishes. Did you? I was always the dish person.
When I was little, it was just sticking my hand in the water, and that was fun. And I had bubbles up to my elbows, and that was all okay, But yeah, it became a chore when it was on my chore list.
Right. Yep. All right. So Diana does have a dream to share with us tonight. Gonna wait. Bye, Ron. Thanks, dear. I hope you have a good night. Take care of yourself.
Miss you, Ron.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear Groucho just chirping away.
No, actually, that's the guy outside. The wild birds are looking for an
it's the wild birds. Oh.
And I don't feed them. And I think in this tree right here, another set of sparrows just hatched.
Oh.
Those might be the little babies, like come and
baby
feed
ones. Yeah. Their little mouths. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So anybody got any dreams to list? Diana's got one she's going to bring up. I was going to wait until Terri got here. She does know to come on at 6 o'clock this evening. But I don't see anybody listed anything here. I have to tell you all, I got some really cool new dream cards. And they're called Dream Ritual Oracle cards. And it says they're just gorgeous. Look at this. It's like in the shape of an egg, and it says prepare. Just gorgeous. I have one that says impulse on it. I love that. I love to see a road that goes over a hill, because it just tells me that life goes on, right? You can't see the road, but it's there. Oh, yes. This one's ego. That's an interesting one.
These are awesome.
Yeah. They're beautiful. They're just beautiful. I love this, the synchronicity. Look at that. Look at all the moons.
Look at all
yeah, I know. It's awesome.
200 and some odd moons.
Passion.
148.
Just gorgeous. Yeah. A lotus, compassion. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, there are a lot of beautiful colors here. So I think what I will do, if anybody has a dream and wants to, we'll analyze it and so on and so forth. And then I'll look and see, I'll pull a card and see what it says. And intuitively let us know what's going on there. Okay, I don't know if Terri can't find the link. All right, hold on. That's what the problem is. All right. So let me get that. Yeah. I thought I did. All right. So Terri, if you're listening, it's gone. It's gone off to you. All right. All right. Very good. So welcome again to everybody, and thank you all for being here again and sharing your thoughts about some nostalgia as well. Yes, I sent the link. Lisa, you can't remember your dreams. Okay. And you've tried, I think, Lisa, huh? Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, Chioko, I have you. And I see a dream here from Monsieur Wayne Rich. And so I'm going to put it up. And then Nancy, I have one from you. I have one from Chioko. And we definitely have one from Diana, but we'll see. We'll get her in there. Here comes Terri. All right. Hello. Sorry about that. All right. Welcome. It's good to see you. So we've got we've got Wayne here with some. I was showing them. Did you see me showing the dream cards I have? I got some cool dream cards, and they are. I can't think now. I can't find the box. Oh,
right there.
The dream ritual.
Oh,
So isn't that fun? So I'm going to pull one once we do some analysis here. All right. So Wayne, a few weeks back, I had a dream in which I looked in a mirror and I saw a different face. I made faces to confirm it was me, but it really wasn't. Ah, but Wayne.
Past life.
Uh-huh.
Past life, for sure.
Past life. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did the reflection make faces back at you? Or no?
He said, I made to confirm it was me, but it really wasn't. So maybe maybe he tried to make a face, but it didn't make the face in the dream, maybe, or in the mirror. I don't know.
Mirror.
Yeah. Two things come to my mind. That was first thing, was past life. But then the Michael Jackson song, Man in the Mirror.
Yes.
That came to me. Yeah, that came to me.
Right. The secret side of ourselves, right?
Uh-huh. Maybe I'm a plural personality. Wayne, you are more than a plural personality.
I love that.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So
That's
I
pretty
had
good.
something. It didn't move independently. Okay, Wayne. All right.
Okay.
When I was a teenager, I had a very high fever, and I went to the bathroom. And after I got up from the toilet, I went over to wash my hands, and I looked in the mirror, and it wasn't me. That was real, though. That was like not a dream. That was really what I saw. And I'm sure now that it was probably a past life, but I had a high fever. So I must have been in a different state. Yeah. But
it could be. And I think this is the same thing as a past life as another timeline. So you in the future, you in the past. And sometimes, especially when it's a really high energy going on, it combusts and we meet ourselves. And it's like a big explosion of energy. Like sometimes you'll shock somebody, or, a light will blow out on you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we just had that happen. Actually, remember that moment that things just.
That's true. I was talking with her, and all of a sudden she went away, and then she came back.
Yeah, I think
and
a lot of
I
times
lost you too. You weren't here either.
Oh, I wasn't.
And
okay.
it was. Were we just getting ready to talk about my mom? I had just mentioned my mom, or she was.
It's very possible.
She was coming in.
Yep.
I'm here.
It's very possible.
Well,
because Susan Lynn says that all the time, that the lights go out or something else happens to her, but our energy also can affect it. I know. I understand, Wayne, but apparently it was an important dream for the amount that you did remember, because you wouldn't have remembered any of it if it wasn't. So.
And I'm kind of getting a feeling of a guide coming in too. That's the other thing on top of it is somebody's coming in to say, this is a part of you or something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Wow. I love that, Wayne.
Like sliding doors.
Yeah.
Yes, Diana. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, so Wayne, I pulled one of my dream ritual cards, and I get the word transition.
Mm-hmm.
So look at that. It's like an egg, but it's the world, and there's a tree growing out of it. And so you're moving from one reality into another?
To another.
Possible? Yeah. Very, very possible.
Mm-hmm.
You're growing. That's a good thing.
Growing.
Yeah. You're constantly growing. Yep.
Cycles, right?
Cycles. Yep.
From the egg to the acorn to the tree.
Absolutely. How beautiful.
I pulled remembrance. So, which it looks a lot like your card. and remembering who
Yep.
you were, or
Remembering who
your
you really
future.
were.
Yeah.
Yep. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. Are you pulling a card, Diana?
I was going to, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure what deck to pull from.
Ah.
So I'm just
Wayne,
grabbing mine.
Wayne says, yes, I think things are changing for him. Yeah. Yep. Ooh.
Oh, we got the Sanctuary card, which basically goes right along with both of those things, because you are the architect of your own sanctuary,
That's
where you
true.
contemplate the past and think about the future.
Beautiful.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful, Diana.
it
Yeah, I love
is.
that.
It is.
Yeah.
And Lisa says, going to 5D. Well, we
Yep.
all are. We all are. And we'll
Yeah.
all have a different take on how that works out, you know? Yeah.
Don't you feel like some days you're light as a feather and other days you're like Godzilla trying to clump, clump, clump?
That was Godzilla was me today.
Me
Yes.
too.
Yeah. And both Diana and I, we've texted each other like in the middle of the night. And she said to me last night, do you get the feeling that both of us can't sleep? You know, and I can't. I get like 2 hours of sleep a night. That's all I get for some reason. So must
I
be
went through
amping.
that last week. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Wayne, I think it's a pretty cool dream that you had. And if
Yeah.
you have it again, which can happen, see if you can get any more details. But I think it's very positive, and I think it's things are changing in a good way.
And was it colorful? Was it in color? Was it black and white? Was it just gray?
Mhm.
Are
Mhm.
there any other nuances about it that you can recall?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Because it's funny too because and this is in a general sense, not certainly not saying all men, but a lot of men only dream in black and white. That I've read about, but that doesn't mean all of them do. You know,
Right.
it's funny too that growing up, all of us at our age grew up with black and white TV,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't see it as a bad thing,
No.
me. And
No. Well,
yeah,
think about it inside the actor's studio.
uh
Everything
huh,
geared towards shades of gray in order
right,
to get that Alfred Hitchcock.
yes, oh yes, those are the best movies. And do you know in the shower scene in Psycho that they use chocolate syrup for blood? And
Oh.
it was the only thing that had the consistency of blood that and you didn't know it because it was in black and white. So I mean, I've studied film, and so I've learned that when I took a Hitchcock class. Actually, it was
Oh,
wonderful. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Is Juno with us?
Oh no, I don't think
Because
so.
she
Oh
just
yes,
dropped.
she is.
Juno.
She
Hi,
just
Juno,
Juno.
popped in.
was she listening to this? Did she hear us?
Oh my god, yeah, she
Because she
just
just
popped
dreamt
in.
about washing her hair in the shower with chocolate. Now,
Oh
granted, it
really?
was a bar of chocolate, but
With a bar of chocolate? Okay,
doo
all
doo
right.
doo
That
doo.
sounds delicious. Yeah.
Wow. As a matter of fact, if you watch the Psycho with Anne Heche, and then you watch the original Psycho, and the way they had to film that was incredible because of the nudity, you know.
Yes.
But the second one just doesn't do it for me. It's just like that black and white was more creepy than watching
Yeah.
it in color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
do 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 do. Yes. Lisa Foster, I'll be licking that tub after filming. All right. So Wayne,
That's funny.
if your dream was in color, which you later say that you
I think it was
definitely was in
colored.
color,
Good.
then it would definitely be um, a colorful look at
Well,
life.
so one thing that happens to me, the more colorful my dream, the stronger the
Uh-huh.
message is coming through.
Okay.
Okay, so this goes back to something reaching out to you.
Mhm.
something from your past reaching out to you,
There you go.
something from the future calling you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite songs, "Color My World."
Yeah.
Yeah, another good one.
It's a great
Oh,
one.
Juno, the water stopped coming out of the shower as soon as I somehow got the chocolate distributed all in my hair. Well, that's funny, Juno. Oh my God. Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like water for chocolate, right?
Yeah, there you go. It was liquid and it melted for sure.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Oh, well, thanks, Wayne. Yeah, I really think things are going to be, yeah, more colorful for you. Let's put it that way.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
I love it. Okay, ladies. Here's Chiyoko. Has dreams of various work scenarios and times throughout my life. Oh my God, that's me right there. When I was doing taxes, I was doing my taxes at night in my dreams. When I was teaching, I was teaching in my dreams. And the busier I was during that day, the busier I stayed in that dream.
So that's being present in your situation.
Mm. Ah,
I like that.
okay. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. I think also we work at night, right? We're
Yes.
not resting. I mean, you wake up
Right.
and you're exhausted.
Oh, this is
And
true.
yeah. So whatever that is, a lot of people feel like they're going to different galactic areas and working at night, or going with
Oh,
your
yeah.
angels and working with your angels. Maybe you're doing healings, in Ukraine, all sorts of different things.
Hmm.
So definitely
Don't you think? Don't you think also though, if you're not satisfied, maybe with your work or you feel overworked, you might take that into a dream as well to try to heal that.
Yeah.
Was it a spaghetti dream? Because you're so overworked, you're just eating at night,
Uh huh.
you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
feeling guilty about not canceling the class. You know what I mean?
Or canceling the class. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
canceling the
Yeah.
class.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um. Yeah. Juno says I wake up and I need a nap right away. I've had those nights, Juno. I have. It's
Mhm.
like, why am I had it actually over the weekend. On Saturday, I got up and my husband got up with the dogs at 5 and I was at like 8 o'clock and I walked out into the kitchen and he said, "How are you?" And I went, "Oh, I'm so tired." I just gotten up. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah.
It is. It's exhausting.
So I pulled strength for you, Chiyoko.
Like
And it's almost as though you can work through any kind of work trauma or work related issues. And that's what our dreams are. Dumping can be a dumping ground. It doesn't always have to be a dumping ground, but it can be a dumping ground for things that we're trying to work through. Wouldn't you say, ladies?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Uh-huh.
I got calm but complicated.
Ah.
It takes, if you think about a snowflake,
Mm-hmm.
it goes through 6 stages before it becomes a snowflake, and it has to get dirty along the way. And think about how many snowflakes have to pile up to make a pile. And then a whole city gets 8 inches, and no two of
Mm-hmm.
them are alike.
True.
So, in that
True.
calmness, which is supposed to be sleeping, it gets complicated.
It does. I just know I wouldn't eat yellow snow, even in my dream.
There's a song about that too, from Kappa and the Mothers of Invention. Don't
Oh
you
my
go with the
god.
yellow snow?
Um,
I love that album. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's
oh,
so
you
funny.
guys, that's great. That's great. Oh, good. Yeah.
I get divine timing,
Ah,
Yoko. So I think that's about uh maybe when I like what you said about being present. Diana, and maybe
Mhm.
you're at work, you're not being present. You're thinking about, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do that, and then I have to do this. We all do that, don't we? Instead of just
We do.
being there at the moment and enjoying it
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
somehow,
Yep. Yep.
finding joy there. And
Yep.
so that could be something there too.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
Yep.
one of the lessons that I'm really working hard on this year.
Uh-huh.
Finding joy and doing the dishes. And
There you go. Yes, chop wood, carry water.
We're 8 years
Absolutely.
old.
Yeah, chop wood, carry water. But your work. The other thing about work is you could use it as a play on words. I'm working through it. I'm working through it,
perfect.
and because you're in your subconscious mind, you're not. It's not
Yeah.
conscious, so you're subconsciously working through it.
A metaphor.
No, Nancy, I won't forget your dream, honey. I'll get it. I will. Yeah. Hi, White Wolf Mom. All right. So yeah, very cool. Thank you. As a matter of fact, you're next. And then I have Joy, and then I have Rossi. Okay. Why am I having a dream about being an angel and walking the earth to help others? Oh, that's beautiful, Nancy.
Nancy, I get that's where you're coming from, honey. It's like you have this team around you, and they're walking behind you and with you, and you're kind of the leader, like you're holding up a flag, the tour guide.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're bringing in that energy, and that's something that you came here to do.
Right. And this is
Yeah.
mission. No, go ahead, Diana. Go ahead, jump in.
It's the job she's doing while she's
Yeah.
asleep. It's astral projection at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So here, we do have angels here on Earth. We do. And they can come in human form. They can come in animal form, because I believe pets and animals are angels with fur. I pulled an angel card, and the angel card I got is in the near future. Look at that. So you will be helping out those as we go into this new energy, because we're going to need a lot of people like that to do that, because a lot of people aren't going to know what the heck's going on, and there's a lot of fear, because I believe that some of the religious evangelicals believe that this is the end times, and they're going to have to know that this is just the beginning in a lot of ways. So
yeah, there is a lot of fear there.
There is.
Do you want to go, Diana?
No, go ahead. I'm still shuffling.
Okay. And I get Celebration, which I just love her. Look at her. She's got her hands wide open. She's leading the pack. She's embracing the future and embracing the moon. So change, that yin and yang. So that's what you're here for. That's what a lot of us are here for. I'd say probably everybody on this call tonight. So we're all here to help lead the way.
Shall we cry? Shall we cry?
Oh, my Lord. That's not an angel deck. That's the angel in the deck.
That's the angel in the deck. And I'm the verge of tears right now. Because of course I was thinking, God, wouldn't that be something if that card came out?
You must be psychic.
Oh, maybe. You might be onto something.
Sorry, I can help it.
Oh, wow. So in your mind's eye, what do you see that angel as a representation of? Because that's your deck. What did you?
Oh, everything's in alignment. This is
everything's in alignment.
It's her job, keeping it here. I stuck her back in, but it is chakra alignment, of course. If we look at the color scheme behind her, and it is shining. Holy is ascension. It's luminescence. It's becoming the light. Holy is a word that gets misused because there is such a deeper meaning to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the ascended masters as
Mhm.
holy luminescence because they became light,
Right.
as in the Essenes.
Yep. There you go. Yeah.
Major rest.
It's your purpose. It's your purpose, Nancy.
Ah, I'm
It's
crying
your,
too.
I am too. That's just beautiful, Nancy.
yeah. It is really. Thank you for sharing. That actually just made my whole day. It really did. It's beautiful. Yeah.
What's
She's
that,
been
Lenny
told she
Kravitz?
has a gold aura. Wow.
I believe it.
Wow.
That's beautiful. It's like that
Sure
Lenny
you do.
Kravitz song, "Raise the Vibration."
Yes,
You
definitely.
know,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. You will. Your light will shine in pathways where people will need to have light. You're obviously an angelic light worker, and we need you.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Speechless.
Thank you for sharing that, Nancy.
Wow.
Beautiful. Okay, Joy. I had a dream recently where I found myself in the midst of a gathering of women where I felt unwelcome and I was told I should go away because I didn't belong there. Oh, Joy. But you have to say to them, Joy, but I'm Joy. I'm Joy. You need joy in your life. It's a beautiful name. It really is.
Beautiful name. Beautiful
What's
smile.
Yeah.
Looks like she could be your sister.
That's true. She does. Yeah.
This is the same
She
spot.
does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joy, I'm just kind of getting that you're okay, I got a couple of things on that. First off,
Uh-huh.
I got imposter syndrome because who of us does not have that sometimes? Like, who
Right.
am I to tell you what I think about your dream? Who am I to you know, wear that
Right.
color lipstick? I got my red lipstick on today.
Uh-huh.
Who am I? And when we go deep within that question, we really do find our authentic self. So it's like a beautiful question to ask, who am I? And then when you turn it around and really think about it, it's you do become aligned. And the other thing that I'm gonna say is maybe that divine feminine. A lot of times we identify with our divine masculine more. You know, we're very clear-sighted. We're very protective. I love that. I love that. I think that's such an honor to have women friends that are like that. And maybe there are times that you have to be softer, and I'm going to say softer to yourself, not to others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The women being critical of her parts of herself.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. That's what I
Judge
think.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's the part of yourself that's the imposter. It's the part of yourself that doesn't trust that you're likable or lovable or whatever. Yeah.
Your divine
Yep.
light.
Your divine light. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Let's pull a card here. Oh, it says heal. So yes, this is a healing dream. You do need to heal from the feeling that you don't fit in, you don't belong, you're not part of where you need to be. And once you can heal that, and I understand this imposter syndrome because I remember when I first became a professor, I said, how can I be a professor? I was a C student my whole life. So, so you feel like there's something going on, and how can you be where you are and what you're doing, and or how could I know how to read cards, whatever it is, whatever it is. So yeah.
So this goes along with Terri in her reflection, in finding herself not measuring up to what other women in this particular group would think of, right?
Yeah.
So the card I pulled is the calm and the moments to reflect on what is our more masculine nature, because here she is dressed as a Viking warrior, right? Outside the open window, things are calm. She lives in a log cabin. She's got her hair down. It's not pulled back and braided for battle. So this goes right along with what you were saying. And and I had to agree, because that's definitely what I was thinking, was exactly what you guys were saying. Ladies.
Right. Use guys. Yeah.
Use guys. There's a little Polak coming out of me everyone.
Juno says perhaps they were a group of women that you did not belong in, which says more about them than it does about you. And I agree with that, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
possible.
I don't need to be in your stinking group, you know?
You know, and Joy, that's something I think all of us go through.
Absolutely.
Right? Especially because of the work we do.
Right.
You know, people poo-poo it all the time, and we know we've got a job. We are doing work.
Yep.
We are not of this planet. We are of
Yeah. Everybody's got a different way of looking at life, you know? And, you know, I say live and let live, but they have to do it too. And that's the hardest thing, because I think judgment is something that we all struggle with. We don't want to be judgmental, and we don't want people to judge us. We just want them to accept who we are and what we do. And yet we always struggle with the fact that, are they really doing that, or are they just kind of saying, yeah, okay, you know? But yeah.
You know, get that rush of adrenaline when you're doing something, right? Really authentic. And then afterwards your body just goes a little bit.
Yep.
And you kind of
Absolutely. And Amanda says, I'll be with you, Joy. And so will we. And Wildflower, you're part of us here. So, but we've had that feeling that we didn't fit in. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
It's in our hands, honey. It's all up to us.
It's up to us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joy's crying. We made another person cry.
Uh-oh. It's healing. Very healing. It is very healing to do that. Yeah. Juno, you never felt like you fit in or was accepted until you found this community. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And Juno says rejection is protection by deflection and redirection.
Oh, baby.
Oh, yes.
You're a poet and you know it. And you're a long fellow.
Oh, Juno, you're a wise, wise crone. I love
that. I got freedom also.
Ooh.
Freedom. So
once you accept who you are, you can be free. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, your freak flag. Oh my God. I love it.
Talk about wisdom. There you go.
Oh, wow.
We wrote the book.
Yep. Yeah. And Nancy says that group was not meant for you. I agree. I definitely agree. And some groups aren't meant for us. And I remember that child that moved away and then came back. And when she came back, that was me. I lived in Santa Barbara for a year, and then we moved back east. And my best friend was now with another best friend. And I never fit in after that. And they made fun of me, and I was too fat, and I wasn't I mean, I just remember it like it was very painful. And it took me a long time to heal from that. They didn't know really the effect that it had on me, but it was pretty hard. And then I found my own group, and I was okay after that. But, you know, junior high is hard enough. You don't need to lose your best friend to some other best friend, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Freedom is right, Amanda. Wow. Thank you, Joy, for sharing with us as well. Rossi says, I don't remember all my dreams, just a few. As a child, I dreamt I was deep underwater, swimming like a fish, but surrounded by light. Ooh.
The birthing experience.
Yeah, yep.
You too?
You remember it. You remember swimming around in mom's tummy and then coming out into the light, right? Yeah.
And we are little angels to begin with, so.
Yeah. I love that.
And they say that there are other planets. Well, obviously there's other planets, but there's other planets that have different types of existence. Like some of them are all water. and we interconnect or interincarnate with all these different planets, and some of them are gas, so we have a different physical form perhaps, but there are a lot of people that identify with being on a water planet.
Absolutely. Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I pulled a card for you, Rossi. I got barrier. And look what I'm seeing. I'm seeing water here in the middle and grass, and swimming like a fish, but surrounded by light. So in between with the barrier, and the barrier could be internal, right? Or it could even be planetary. Let's see what you ladies have.
Well, again, I got the sanctuary card.
Yeah.
And, being in the womb is about the most protected we could possibly be at any given moment, right? I mean, things can go wrong, absolutely, but it is a pretty safe space.
Yep, it is a space.
I love that. So I got power.
Ooh,
So
okay.
senior power. And it's funny that in between place, the spot between thoughts, the spot between light, the spot between positive and negative, that I think the Vedics call it Brahman. And you're at that beautiful in between space, which is also Saint Germain, right?
Right.
So it's a very healing space, and I think that's where we come from. And I think you remember coming from that beautiful. That's a beautiful dream.
You're not going to believe what's on the bottom of this deck. And it's twice we've had this card.
Yes, yes, that's true. That's true. So maybe you're an earth angel, just like Nancy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Rossi said she's always lived near water. Yeah.
Will you be mine? Love me forever till the end of time.
Oh, I love that song.
Juno says she's embraced being a hermit, and since she's immersed in tarot, she calls herself a termit. So,
and she terms it very well.
She does term it well. She does. As long as we don't have to call you Kermit, I'll be okay.
We had a family dinner, and my niece made orzo, and I called it Orlov because it looked like, pilaf. Is it pilaf? Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
Termit.
All right, so we got Michelle. I had a reoccurring dream, but with two versions. I was in bed sleeping, and a glowing or white form would roll or float towards me. When it was thick, I was okay, but when it was thin, I was scared.
So when it was thick, it was more like a cloud or a pillow. And then when it was thin, it was more like a stick, a piece of wood, something that could be used as a weapon for somebody else. So, you were afraid of it because it was itself an entity that could harm you.
When it was thick. And then thick would mean more protection. Thick is more protection than thin, right?
Right.
Thin wouldn't be able to hold you as well.
Yeah. Michelle, did you have I'm getting a grandmother figure, somebody that passed around that time that you were close to, or someone that held you and protected you? It could be a male energy, but I'm getting a real feminine energy around it.
Oh, okay.
The thick light. that came in, and the thinner light might have been a more distant guide that you just are not as familiar with yet.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
And so it's not the thickness, but rather the width. There you go. You
Mm,
were reading my mind, Michelle, because I was like, she must mean the width of the ribbon and not the density.
okay. Wider.
So if it was wider, there's more density, which makes it.
Well, if it's wider, if it's thinner, it's like a guitar string, it could be
Yeah.
certainly harmful.
Right. Okay. Okay. She said it was more like a ribbon. Okay. Oh, we have had a spirit that followed my mom around who lived with us. Oh,
Okay.
maybe you recognize the thicker one, but there's another one that's thinner and you're not as comfortable with that one. I don't know.
Or it's a shapeshifter.
Oh, there's a possibility.
Other
people saw her, but I always said, I'm cool. Just don't show yourself to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the physical presence that they saw? Was she wide or was she narrow?
Yeah. Do you know?
Was she easy to be around, or was she an uncomfortable spirit? My brother just banished one from his house finally.
Oh.
He finally had a lucid enough moment where he was able to throw this thing out. So,
Okay.
I mean, it was plaguing him. He'd wake up and find himself face planted on the floor. Some weird stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's got to go.
Yeah.
They saw a person, Michelle says.
Oh, okay. So that would be more dense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She said she never really understand. It's probably was. It may have been an apparition, hon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get here. It's a synchronicity. So it's a meaningful coincidence. And the fact that you're more comfortable with one than the other, I think means that it's two different entities. One you're more familiar with. Yeah. One you're more familiar with and one you weren't. Yeah. What do you got?
I get harmony. So one you're in harmony with and the other one not. And even in this, I don't know if you can see it, there's trees behind this angel. And then on the ground, there's little reeds coming up that she's trying to be in harmony with. But the trees are definitely already in harmony. So, different energies coming in. I mean, as kids, we're just so drawn to that. It's so easy for us to see those things or to feel it rather than see it. A lot of us don't see it, we feel it. But I used to have different entities that would come in and they showed me how to turn the channel on my pillow.
So she said when she was a teen, some friends came over midnight and she revealed herself to them and they ran off scared saying, oh, shoot, her mom's up, but I didn't see it.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
So this is, this is the card of gratitude and praying in advance, saying thank you in advance for what it is you really want, which in your case is the wider ribbon, where the other one puts you on the defensive. What's the truth? What is the truth about a narrow ribbon? So also, if you think back to your childhood, I mean, silly little things like ribbons can trigger us, right?
True.
So maybe the analogy lies in the fact that somebody scared you with a ribbon when you were a little kid, maybe still in a crib or a playpen.
Yeah.
Convincing you it was a snake or something that you should be afraid of. Yeah. And that this dream just keeps following you.
Following you along. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And That first song, or that first card you pulled, Diana. Um, I love that one because it shows an ancestor, and
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel like that denser form was
Yeah.
very. I feel a lot of love and a lot of protection from
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
So that's why you feel more comfortable with that the denser one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Right. Oh, and the thinness of the whip. She has the lasso of truth.
Uh-huh.
Miss
Uh-huh.
Wonder
That's
Woman,
true.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
The thinness of
There
the
you
rope.
go. Wonder Woman. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you, Michelle. All right, we have one more, Samantha, and then Diana, you can do your dream and tell us
Oh,
about your dream.
sure.
But I have had dreams of tsunamis. She said they feel so real. I feel like I should get some life jackets. I am deathly afraid of high waves. When I was a kid, I lived in Santa Barbara, like I said, and we had to go up to the mesa, which was the highest point in Santa Barbara, because there was a tidal wave coming.
Oh,
It never came,
Oh,
but
wow.
I was scared to death, and it was I mean, we were way the hell up, some like a mountain,
Yeah.
and it just stuck with me that I don't want to go out in a water wave, you know. So,
Yeah, I
but
get that too.
yeah,
My childhood, I can't be on a boat.
okay,
I I
yep,
Michigander, love the water, can go in it, but I can't be on a boat.
understand. My
And I
mom couldn't
can't
either.
swim to save my life.
That's why. That's why. Because if the boat capsized, you wouldn't be able to swim. So that's a natural feeling.
Hmm.
But
I don't know how I got a lifesavers badge on my Girl Scout uniform. Not a clue.
because you had to, you had. Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Oh,
oh, that's
Oh,
beautiful.
it's intuition, but look at the fish. Oh my
he's
lord!
saying the Pisces fish.
And so your intuition may be right, Samantha. It might be a good
Samantha.
idea to invest in some life jackets. But there are different kinds of life. People will always say, throw me a lifeline or throw me
Yeah.
a life jacket or whatever. And it could be just that I need to know someone's going to be there to support me. Somebody's going to
Well,
be there for me. Yeah.
and what in your waking hours overwhelms you like a tsunami? What, are you
True.
working, or are you retired, or are you taking care of too many kids, or are you a school teacher checking too many
Sure.
papers? What is
Yeah.
it that comes at you in your waking life
In waves. In waves. Yeah.
Yeah.
that pull
Yeah.
you over?
I feel like water is usually representative of life too. And sometimes life is really overwhelming, and sometimes with that intuition card, it could be an overwhelming event is coming up. I know
That's possible. Yeah.
I've had apocalyptic dreams when
Yeah.
when all of a sudden, the next day I'd find out someone I loved was ill or something. And that tsunami coming in, it could be a life event that's coming, or it could be that right now it's your your life is kind of
Yeah.
out of
Feeling a
your
bit
hands.
overwhelmed.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
So you're not going to believe it.
Uh oh. Oh, look. It's
Perfect.
angel night, isn't
It's
it? It's
angel night.
angel night.
It's
Yeah.
angel night. So
Uh huh.
somebody throws you the lifeline.
Your
What
angels are on your
this
side.
is,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and this is at the bottom of the deck. The hippo's stuck in water. So this
Oh.
brings us back to that. What is it that's overwhelming? Your
Uh huh.
blood. And
Uh huh.
and hippo is also an indication of living in two worlds, because hippo has to be on the shore, but he
Uh huh.
also must be in the water. But
Yeah.
in order to give birth, he goes to the shore. And in order to find enough food, he has to go on shore. So I'm a little stumped, but that brings us
Uh-huh.
back to that what is so overwhelming that you get
Overwhelming.
stuck in that overwhelmed moment.
Yep. Yep. Juno says she's ready to see a tsunami of angels. So there you go.
Well,
So
it's all
Samantha,
in,
oh, go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry.
oh, I was just going to say, it's all in our perception, isn't it? Because
True.
if we were a surfer and we saw a tsunami, we'd be like, yes.
Yeah, it's on the top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. So a couple of years ago, I've had these dreams and they're coming back. I always manage to survive with my family too. Then you will again. But you've got the angels on your side this time,
Right.
Samantha.
And Hippo talks about the family in that she has to go on the shore in order to give birth.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
Okay.
Love
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
Wow. Very good. Michelle said, should I ask my mother about, now that she's on the other side, who was living with us? She thought it was her aunt. And I would ask if you're able to, mom should be able to tell you, I
Yeah.
would think, or, in another reading, you might be able to be asked. Yeah.
And when you think of that Indian card, and as Terry pointed out, ancestor,
Yeah,
asking for.
that's true. Ask for the answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, the medium show I have a medium show that's on Thursdays. You can come and ask, for them. And also on Sunday, actually this Sunday, I've got Jean and Lady Saul coming on, and they're very connected to the other side. So you might want to bring it in if you can't ask and you want someone else to ask. So Juno says tsunamis represent a cascade of emotion or an impending change in your life. Wow. That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense, Gina. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. So, Diana, we got a little bit of time left here. We got 7 minutes or 8 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
So this was not a planned meetup dream,
Okay.
but it definitely had crossovers. So I had a dream about our J. Marcus, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I texted her the next morning right off the bat and said, okay, I'm looking for a crossover here. I had a dream and it was definitely about you. And it was a 2-parter. And in the first part, I could tell that there was absolute terror in her eyes and that she was extremely worried about something. And then this was near the end of part 1. She's telling me that she has a stalker and he's been texting and sending letters and following her around and taking pictures. So I said to her, bring all of the threats, everything you have, straight to the cops. We're going right now. And off we went.
Mm-hmm.
Then I woke up. And then when I went back to sleep, part 2 came. So
a sequel.
A sequel. Well, now you know how when you wake up, you can sometimes go back to the dream, change the outcome.
You can.
Or see the rest of it, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, part 2 is in the police station. So she and I were being called upstairs to speak with a detective. Now, this was a female detective, and she looked to be female, but was dressed like a cop detective and was very butch looking, as a butch lesbian would look, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
And she was a gnome.
A gnome?
She was wearing a gnome, and she was wearing shorts and Birkenstocks with crazy socks.
Oh my goodness.
And we get up to the stairs, and then there's a baby gate, an old-fashioned wooden accordion baby gate across the top of the stairs.
Uh-huh.
As Jay and I are entering the stairway to go up, we see this guy that is the stalker, and he's a cop.
Oh.
So we go tearing up the stairs, and the accordion gate gets shut, and the gnome is standing on the railing. Now he's wearing a chuka cap,
Yeah.
a rolled up chuka,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and she's on this railing, and she jumps off the railing, kicks him down the stairs, and then she just bounds step after step after step, and out the door we go. And we all go out the door, including Jay. And there's this building that we're running around, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I get out the door, and Jay's in one direction, and the gnome is in another direction, and I'm hollering, "No, leave her alone. Come this way. Come and get me. You want to get somebody? You come and get me." Being just a regular Detroiter. and, and so I'm running away from him. He gets distracted enough to chase after me, and he falls down. And as he does, he grabs my foot and pulls me down. And I wake up because somebody shows up and handcuffs him with regular old-fashioned handcuffs. Okay, some other cops join in, and he gets handcuffed, and I'm laying on the ground, and I see them do this to this guy. So Jay, if you're here,
She is.
I'm looking for my photos because I just saved the photo. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. That's the building I saw. That's the building I drew. It was yellow on the top. She had been out celebrating the last night, that vacation-ish kind of time that they had taken. And now, mind you, this was happening in her time in Washington State, and it was midnight-ish.
Yeah.
I woke up from part one at 3:15, which puts us in a real-time time frame. Okay, real-time time frame.
Yeah.
There had been a guy sitting in a car wearing a chuka that she was leery of because he just kept staring at her. And Jay, fill in the blanks because I'm getting chills. And so she gets in there. The drawing was exactly right. So I've got it drawn in a little bit different way. And you see there's two windows here and a door, and then there's more windows down here. So I didn't have it as a cutout. I just had it as a flat frame. But regardless, definitely. So the second part goes along with the fact that her father-in-law, who has crossed over, is a cop. And she was calling on his spirit because she was worried about this guy. So not only did I see what was going on in the first part of the dream, but we then went on to call in the cop, change the situation. She had gotten her husband on the phone because he went to get something. I can't remember what it was, but he had gone off to go do something. So she got him on the phone so that she had him on the phone while they were walking into the hotel. So this was remote viewing, but I was asleep. This was like 3:00 in the morning.
This is how she dreams. She has the most vivid dreams of anybody I have ever met. And people are amazed, shocked by all the detail. And yes, absolutely. If you can't, I'm shocked, but I'm not, because I've worked with her so long, but it is amazing. She couldn't sleep the whole night. She woke up to Diana's message and pictures.
And it was one of those, I knew it was real when I was dreaming that first part. I knew it was real. I absolutely knew it was Jay. And
Yeah.
I just,
Zowie.
yeah, and I'm
Right.
getting chills now because I have to say that I'm remote viewing, yes, but I've never been in a sleep state
Yeah.
and then go back and finish it, which was the solution she had, was to go to the cops, which is her,
Right.
father-in-law's
I'm
spirit.
wondering who the gnome is, though, or if it's just
Well, now
no name, no name.
no name, but to me, the gnome they're a little feisty guys,
Yeah. 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 True.
and they take no crap from nobody. No, no shit here,
Right.
boom, boom. And the way I mean, their little bodies are just jump on that railing and
Yeah.
they can do those kinds of things. And
Sure.
so it was the spirit form of her father-in-law coming in as a gnome,
Probably coming in. Yeah. And
you know,
bringing the reinforcements.
and bring
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Bringing in his reinforcements.
right. So
I don't know what to say. I got goosebumps, honestly.
I don't know either. I've got them too.
I
Because
want you on my case if I need
I'll be
help,
there.
please. All right, thank you.
This was Sunday into Monday morning.
Okay.
So I woke up at like 5:30, and that was it. I was up for the day.
Right, right. Get it. Yeah. Well, Jay, you got a good advocate for you, and there's obviously an alignment of soul energies, and that's the way you are, Diana. You do line up with people, and in an unplanned and yet not.
Right,
If you think about it, you were feeling what was
right.
going on. Yeah.
And I had been in this anxious state for a couple of days.
Okay.
So I might have been picking up on that energy for her
Could be.
prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made reference to my brother and the dreams he's been having. That anxiety I had could also stem back to that as well, because
Yeah.
he did have another incident. Only this time he remained lucid enough
To take care
to
of the issue.
or became lucid enough, because he said he was out sleeping when it happened, and he became lucid enough to scream all the cuss words and get out of this house. This is my house. You are not welcome here. He said he saw it slither out through the front picture window, the way it gets in, and he knows that that's how he feels it. And not too far away is a cemetery where there's some revolutionary soldiers buried.
Oh.
Yeah, revolution, American
Yeah.
Revolution. And
Wow.
then it's also he's on a part of um, the Tonquish, the Potawatomi that were in the area down there, and
Mm-hmm.
I swear that, because I remote viewed and saw all this happen, the shaman's longhouse was there, and Tonquish and his son were both taken there at this battle in 1850s that
Mm-hmm.
went on, where Tonquish's son was shot in the back, and Tonquish himself was hit in the head with the gun butt and then carried there, and his son, of course, was dead. And I became Tonquish. Tonquish has been with me since I was a little kid. Only
Yeah.
it wasn't until that moment that I ever knew all of that story, because I'm relating to my brother what I saw happen on his property. And this was like 2010, 2010, whatever
Mm-hmm.
year my mom died, it was right then.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also next door to him was an old folks home, because that's what it would have been called when it
Sure.
was at its most active. And so that a lot of crazy stuff goes on in those
Sure.
kind of
Oh yeah.
places.
Especially in the past. I
Yes,
mean, it still does, but even more so then. Yeah.
right. There weren't as
Yeah.
many watchdogs and
That's right.
whistleblowers back then.
That's right.
And in fact, one of our aunts had been in that home
Oh.
prior to his having that house. It wasn't
Okay.
until 20
Okay.
years later that he
Mhm.
moved into the house. So
So everybody, I just want you to know, not everybody can remember their dreams or whatever this was to that extent, but you absolutely amaze me. And you can draw them. You can draw the dreams, and that blows me away as well. Wow.
thank you.
Terri, any comments?
You're
I
on
can't
mute.
hear. Yeah, I don't know why.
Sorry, because I muted myself because my dog was
Okay.
barking.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
User error. That's the most lucid dreaming I've ever heard of, Diana, number one. Plus you can draw it. That's amazing. So there are entities in the indigenous tribes all over the world that are called, sometimes they're called skywalkers, sometimes they're called skinwalkers.
Mhm.
And they're usually in physical form during the day, but at night they guard the land. They're the guardians. And I
Mhm.
get that. And especially when I just got huge chills when you started talking about um, the entities that had been there on the planet then. And I think
Mhm.
that that's what you're doing. And when you connect with people on this level, like
Mhm.
Jay, and you go in when you can sense trouble, and usually it's more on a more specific land, but that you can go long distance and do it. It's just amazing.
I know.
thank
And
you.
she can do that all the time. I mean, she does. Yeah.
I need a new moleskin book. They're the best pages for drawing on
Uh-huh.
because I put a sandstone cover over the top of my hot coffee, and then I just wipe the sweat off of that to make the smeared shadows.
Oh, wow. All
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
Yeah.
So I filled up 2 of them. I got to get
Uh-huh.
another one.
I just want to say you included, honestly. You're just as
Really,
amazing
Tina.
as are our other people here who shared
Yes.
their dreams with us this evening. And thank you for sharing a very personal part of yourself, really. And to those that the subscribers that are here and
Yeah,
the wonderful moderators, we appreciate you very much.
absolutely. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll see you next time. We're a little bit over, but thank you. Thank you, Terri. Thank you, Diana.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Have a wonderful, sweet dreams.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.